teardrops.
Marty Stewart's wife, Connie Smith, has been an icon in the country music community since she first started releasing music in the 60s. Today, she is still considered by many to be one of the best vocalists in country history.
Have I cried over you?
Let's get to know more about her personal life and her successful career. Connie Smith, born Constance June Meter on August 14, 1941 in Elkhart, Indiana, spent her early years in West Virginia. Her parents, Wilma and Hobart Meter, hailed from West Virginia, and the family later moved to Dungannon, Ohio. Her father, a farm worker, was an abusive alcoholic, which led Connie to experience a mental breakdown during her teenage years. When Connie was just 7, her mother divorced her father and later married Tom Clark, who would become Connie's most significant musical influence. Connie grew up in a home filled with music and talented family members. Her stepfather, Tom Clark, played the mandolin, and her brother played the guitar, while another brother played the fiddle. Saturday nights were always special, as the family gathered to listen to the Grand Ole Opry radio broadcast. And a single accident led to Connie's journey with guitar lessons. During her teenage years, Connie experienced a severe lawnmower accident that nearly severed her leg. While she was recuperating in the hospital, she received a guitar. She quickly mastered various chords, marking the beginning of her musical journey. In the early 1960s, Connie got married and settled into life as a housewife in a small town in Ohio. Despite her domestic responsibilities, she occasionally sang on local TV shows and participated in various local talent contests. In August 1963, Connie entered a talent contest at the Frontier Ranch Country Music Park near Columbus, Ohio. She passionately sang her winning piece, "I Thought of You" by Gene Shepard. From the contest, she earned $5 and an unexpected path to stardom. That day at the park, country music singer Bill Anderson heard Connie perform and was captivated by her voice. But it wasn't until January 1964 that Connie encountered Bill Anderson again at a country music package concert. The country singer invited Connie to join him on Ernest Tubbs' Midnight Jamboree program in Nashville, Tennessee. After her performance on the program, Connie returned to Nashville that May to record demos created by Bill, which he intended to pitch to other country singers. However, producer Chet Atkins heard the recordings and was impressed by Connie's vocals. Consequently, Chet Atkins offered Connie a recording contract, which she accepted, officially signing with the label on June 24, 1964. In less than a year, Connie Smith transformed from a small-town Ohio housewife into a country music star. Her debut single, "Once a Day," penned specifically for her by Anderson, was released in September 1964 and soared to the top of the country charts. It reached number 1 on the Billboard magazine Hot Country Singles chart and held that position for 8 weeks. Remarkably, for nearly 50 years, this hit song maintained the record for the longest time a female artist spent at #1 on the Billboard country chart. In March 1965, Connie's self-titled debut album soared to the #1 spot, maintaining its peak position for 7 weeks on the Billboard Top Country Albums chart. Remarkably, it remained on the chart for a total of 30 weeks. In the early 70s, Connie transformed her live show into a traveling gospel road show. She signed with Columbia Records, which provided her the opportunity to fully record gospel songs. However, this new material did not achieve the same level of chart success as her earlier songs. Her secular music remained more popular with the public compared to her religious tracks. Sadly, between 1978 and 1992, no new Connie Smith albums were released, although she continued to perform with the Grand Ole Opry. In 1961, before achieving stardom, Connie married Jerry Smith, and together they had a child named Darren Justin. By the mid-1960s, the couple decided to part ways. Connie then remarried Jack Watkins, the guitarist in her touring band. Connie and Watkins had a son, Kerry Watkins, but they separated almost a year after their marriage. Shortly afterward, Connie married Marshall Haynes, beginning a marriage that would span 24 years. Marshall often accompanied Connie on her roadshow tours. Together, they had 3 daughters, Jean, Julie, and Jody Haynes. After her divorce from Haynes in the early 1990s, Connie declared she would never marry again. However, her outlook shifted when she met Marty Stewart. Connie Smith and Marty Stewart's love story is one unconventional union that has rocked the entire country music community. Stewart is 17 years younger than Connie, and he was just 12 years old when he first met her. She was my mother's favorite singer. We had a record of her at our house called Miss Smith Goes to Nashville. It had a beautiful photograph of her on the cover. Stewart recalled in an interview, "I thought she was the prettiest girl in the world, so I had my mama take me to buy me a yellow shirt, so Connie would notice me that night."
Connie Smith was my mother's very favorite singer. And I remember the recording we had of her as one of her RCA Victor records. It was called Miss Smith Goes to Nashville. It's beautiful.
On that Saturday, Marty's mother took him and Marty's sister Jennifer to see Connie, and according to Marty, it was love at first sight. After the show, Marty Stewart got his picture taken with Connie and also got her autograph. Afterwards, right as Connie was getting ready to leave, Marty asked his mother if he could borrow her camera. An avid photographer later in life, Marty rushed over to a car where Connie was seated and asked if he could take her picture. "I must have put it right on her nose because it was really close up." The first picture I remember taking in my life, and it was of Connie, Stewart says. As for Connie, it was just an interaction with some goofy kid who was a fan, and she didn't particularly recall Marty. But on the way back home from the show, Marty Stewart swore to his mother that he was going to marry Connie Smith someday. However, it wasn't until decades later that they crossed paths again, and at that time Stewart already had his own music career. "We met and started talking about music," Connie said. "Musically, I was really impressed with what he knew and what he talked about. So when I saw him at the Opry after that, I asked him if he'd be interested in working with me. Of course, Marty Stewart was quick to say yes, and after that, we've probably written 40 or 50 songs. While working together, Stewart's feelings started to overtake him. When he couldn't take the feelings anymore, Stewart needed to ask some advice from his mother, who then told him to go for it. After the pep talk, Stewart met up with Connie at a grocery store. When he found her there, he walked up to her and kissed her, and that was when their love story began. On July 8, 1997, the happy couple tied the knot at Pine Ridge, South Dakota, after dating 3 years. They have lived happily ever after since. It's all quite improbable and beautiful. Marty's prediction being fulfilled despite the 17-year age difference and the twists and turns the two took to eventually find each other. Now, for 27 years, the love between Connie Smith and Marty Stewart has been a constant in country music, as has their love for country music itself, which has been like a beacon in tumultuous times, and has put both of them in the Country Music Hall of Fame, together and forevermore. The story of Marty Stewart and Connie Smith is country music incarnate, and it all started with an implausible prediction that was ultimately fulfilled. Indeed, true love can endure all things. The powerhouse couple has successfully defied the stereotypes of marriages, and they were able to keep their love burning at the same time, excel in their careers. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed learning more about Connie Smith and her unusual love story. I leave a comment below and let us know what you think about Connie's journey. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.